In the realm of religious studies, Gnosticism has long captivated scholars and spiritual seekers alike with its intricate cosmology and alternative views on divinity. Unlike traditional Judeo-Christian teachings, Gnostic texts present a radically different understanding of God, creation, and the human condition. At the heart of many Gnostic narratives lies a fascinating figure, Sophia, the goddess of wisdom. In Gnostic thought, Sophia represents not just wisdom, but also the essence of the divine feminine. Often depicted as an emanation of the higher God, she embodies the qualities of compassion, insight, and nurturance. The Gnostic Bible, particularly the texts from the Nag Hammadi library, introduce Sophia as a vital force in the cosmic order, reflecting a more nurturing and relational aspect of divinity. This contrasts sharply with the Old Testament portrayal of God, often seen as jealous, wrathful and vengeful. At the heart of Gnostic thought lies the belief that the material world and human experience are fraught with suffering and entrapment. According to Gnostic scripture, the created God of the Old Testament, known as Yaldabaoth, is not the ultimate source of divinity. Rather, he is depicted as a lesser deity, a flawed and fallible being. In stark contrast, Sophia is celebrated as the embodiment of divine wisdom, the essence of understanding and enlightenment. In Gnostic texts, Sophia emerges as a multifaceted figure, often representing both the feminine aspect of God and the personification of wisdom itself. Unlike the patriarchal conception of a male god prevalent in many religious traditions, Gnosticism elevates Sophia, celebrating her as a nurturing yet formidable force in the cosmos. She is not merely a passive deity, she actively participates in the unfolding of creation and the quest for spiritual enlightenment. Sophia represents the divine feminine. According to Gnostic mythology, she plays a crucial role in creation but also is motivated by her own longing to reach the ultimate divinity known as the monad. Sophia's actions, both illuminating and tragic, highlight her deep connection to humanity's fate. In Gnostic teachings, the God of the Old Testament, known as Yaldabaoth, is often portrayed as a lesser god, a blind, ignorant creator trapped within his own ego. He is depicted as a deity who, although powerful, lacks the wisdom and compassion attributed to Sophia. Yaldabaoth's creation of the world becomes an act of arrogance, as he mistakenly believes himself to be the ultimate god. This demiurge, as he is called, traps human souls within the confines of the material realm, often interpreted as hell on earth, a state of existence from which they struggle to escape. Yaldabaoth is the creator god who crafted the material world in order to have slaves to worship him. In his jealousy and hubris, Yaldabaoth sought to trap human souls within the confines of the material world, what Gnostics often refer to as the hell on earth. Yaldabaoth is depicted as a tyrannical god, whose limitations prevent him from recognizing the true spiritual nature of humanity. Instead of a compassionate creator, he embodies oppression, entrapment, and ignorance, traits that stand in stark contrast to the nurturing wisdom of Sophia. The Gnostic critique of Yaldabaoth extends to the moral and ethical implications of his rule. Adherents argue that the harsh realities of the human condition, suffering, injustice, and desire, stem from the flawed nature of this God, whose governance lacks true love and understanding. This dualism between the higher God and the demiurge reveals a profound discontent with traditional narratives of divine authority as presented in the Old Testament. Central to many Gnostic beliefs is the figure of Jesus, who is often seen as an expression or emanation of Sophia herself. The Gnostic Gospels depict Jesus as a teacher of secret knowledge, the esoteric, inviting his followers to uncover the divine spark within themselves, a reflection of Sophia's wisdom. This theme of inner awakening emphasizes the notion that liberation lies not in adherence to religious dogma, but in a personal quest for understanding and enlightenment. Unlike the Old Testament portrayal, where divine interaction is often punitive, the Gnostic Jesus offers a message of enlightenment and liberation. He reveals the truth of our divine origin, reminding humanity of the spark of the divine contained within. Through this lens, Jesus becomes a redeemer who awakens the soul to its true nature, encouraging individuals to seek knowledge, gnosis, to transcend the ignorance imposed by the demiurge. His teachings advocate for personal spiritual journeys, emphasizing the importance of inner wisdom and the pursuit of true understanding. The Gnostic worldview posits that the material world, created by Yaldabaoth, is hell, a prison for the soul. Human beings are thought to be divine sparks trapped in physical bodies, distracted by their divine nature and prevented from returning to the true God, or the pleroma, an ineffable fullness of divine being, longing to return to the fullness of reality from which they originated. The journey of the soul is seen as one of awakening, where knowledge and wisdom, traits epitomized in Sophia, serve as the keys to liberation. In this framework, procreation was viewed as a perpetuation of the material world and its inherent errors. By bringing new life into existence, Gnostics believed that those who procreate were inadvertently entrapping souls into hell, condemned to confront the ignorance and suffering that it entailed. In their eyes, reproduction was not an act of divine creativity but, rather, an act of spiritual imprisonment. For Gnostics, the ultimate aim is to transcend the limitations imposed by Yaldabaoth and reconnect with the divine essence present within all individuals. This journey toward enlightenment is seen as a return to Sophia, the source of wisdom and truth. By seeking inner knowledge and recognizing the divine spark within, individuals can liberate their souls, breaking free from the chains of the material world.